A lot of time has passed. By the look of it, you've come up in the world.
I could say the same about you.
A mayor serves his city.
Welcome back, everyone. Charlie Cox has been teasing some special cameos from the wider Marvel universe in Daredevil Born Again, and the Marvel social media accounts just teased all the other Netflix Defenders characters, making everyone think we'd actually get some more Defenders cameos outside of Punisher and the other characters coming back from Daredevil Season 3 during the Netflix era. There's already a couple big Defenders Easter eggs going on in the Daredevil Born Again trailer that we'll point out, and I know there's still tons of questions about what's still canon from that era, the Netflix Defenders, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, even Punisher. Technically, he's not a Defender, but you include him when you talk about the others because he's from the Marvel Netflix era. In a surprising twist, Marvel has actually been pretty clear about what's canon and what's not canon right now. So we'll break it all down, and I'll explain what I think all these other teasers for Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and Iron Fist actually mean. Because they really want you to think that they're coming back, and I do think that they have a plan for actually bringing them back. All they gotta do now is tell us when they're bringing the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters back. Seriously, just tell us when they're coming back. We're actually going to be getting episodes of this pretty soon, so we don't have to wait that long. I'll be doing videos week to week just like I did during the Netflix era, so be sure to subscribe to get everything if you're brand new to the channel. The other real big reminder is that in a couple days, we're supposed to get that first Fantastic Four trailer in shiny HD footage, so of course I will do all the videos for that, whatever Marvel winds up releasing, because we are in the middle of Super Bowl week. There'll be a bunch of trailers coming. But if you didn't see it, recently Charlie Cox has been doing all kinds of interviews for Daredevil Born Again. He said that they would have what he called some fun cameos during Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Now this isn't just a Season 1 thing though. They start filming Season 2 really soon and they'll release that next year. So there'll be a ton of cameos during Season 2 as well, and if they do Season 3, which I think they will. Marvel's whole change behind the scenes, the way they're redoing a lot of the TV shows now, is they're planning for multiple seasons ahead of time, not waiting until like the last possible minute, so we don't have to wait 2-3 years between seasons anymore. Charlie Cox didn't say exactly which characters would be cameoing because the Marvel snipers were on him, just that there would be fun cameos. Right after he did that, one of the Marvel social accounts stated that in order to get ready for Daredevil Born Again to understand what's going on, you needed to rewatch Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Punisher from the Netflix shows, basically all the Netflix Defenders era of shows. The blanket explainer for what's still canon from all that stuff to the new stuff, according to Marvel, when Echo was about to release last year, they said it's all still canon. That's the easy explainer, like TLDR is all canon.
Up until this point, we've been a little bit cagey about what's sacred timeline, what's not sacred timeline. That was born of, frankly, a period at the studio where we were like, we have to stick the landing with Avengers. Sure. You know, it was another part of the company developing the Netflix stuff. We were aware of what they were doing. They were aware of what we were doing. It was a lot. It was a lot to balance anyway. You know, some time has passed. Now that we see how well integrated the stories are, we would be confident in saying it is part of the sacred time.
They're actually treating Daredevil Born Again more like Daredevil Season 4. That's meant to be the vibe, just with a different title. It's the same thing they did with X-Men 97. Basically still X-Men the Animated Series, just different title. That guy is Brad Winterbaum, the head of Marvel TV. He's the one in charge of managing all the stuff with all the TV shows. He's one of Kevin Feige's chief lieutenants now. He's the one that made the call with Kevin Feige to officially canonize everything from the Marvel Netflix era. The reason why Punisher Season 1 and Season 2 are important to Daredevil Born Again is because Punisher, in the trailers, as you see, is one of the main characters during the new season. He's also supposed to be back during Season 2 next year, and now there's talk of them doing a new Punisher revival series after this, which would also be kind of like Punisher Born Again, but effectively Punisher Season 3, for those of you that want to see them do more Punisher.
Bro, shit, dude. Yeah. Yo!
Pretty easy to say that he'll also be back in other TV series in the future, other movies eventually too. When it comes to the other Defenders characters like Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, their shows, we've actually already seen some literal references to them in the Daredevil Born Again trailer. Luke Cage is the most obvious one. There's a huge Easter egg for him, literally and metaphorically huge, because there's a giant billboard for Harlem's Paradise in Times Square, the club from the Luke Cage series that he took over at the end of Season 2 when he started running Harlem. One of the interesting things about Luke Cage is that he ran against Kingpin for mayor when they were doing this storyline from the comics that they're adapting for Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Kingpin had been mayor for a little while when he did this, but they could use this as a way to bring Luke Cage back if they want to, and have him run against Kingpin for mayor in a couple years. The way that Mike Coulter talked about it, he'd been booked doing other TV shows for a long time the last couple of years, but his latest one just ended and said that he'd be happy to come back to Marvel if the story is good. Them putting this giant Luke Cage Easter egg in the trailer, all this stuff, makes it sound like Marvel does plan to bring him back eventually. Why would you point people towards a big thing from the Luke Cage series if you weren't planning on invoking a lot of Luke Cage eventually? My assumption, just based on the way everything's been going behind the scenes, Luke Cage doesn't have a cameo in Season 1, but maybe we see him actually show up on screen in Season 2 briefly. Next big person is Jessica Jones coming back. This actually goes back a couple years ago, right after they announced they were doing a new Daredevil series on Disney+, like right after he debuted again during the Spider-Man No Way Home movie. Originally, way back at that time, before Marvel made a ton of changes behind the scenes and totally reorganized their business model for how they make TV shows and canceled a bunch of stuff, Jessica Jones was a way bigger part of the overarching plot. Originally, Daredevil was going to be a much bigger part of the Echo series before they winnowed that down and deleted one of the episodes, and during that, he was going to be looking for Jessica Jones. We never found out why he was looking for her, only that it was meant to set up Daredevil finding her, like her actually coming back on screen during the events of Daredevil Born Again Season 1. That was when Born Again Season 1 was still 18 episodes, and they were going to do it more like a legal drama, more of like what you saw him doing in court on She-Hulk, which is less jokes. Kevin Feige decided that whole vibe for the show was complete trash, and they rebooted the reboot of Daredevil. Now we're getting the better version of that show. They removed a bunch of Daredevil stuff from Echo and then totally changed the plot for Born Again Season 1, and also sounds like removed a lot of the Jessica Jones stuff from both of those storylines. So it sounds like she's not a big part of Season 1. Maybe Matt references her a couple times and then they wait till Season 2 to bring her back as well too. But everything from Jessica Jones Season 1 to Season 3 are still canon to the MCU now. And at the end of Jessica Jones Season 3, the whole idea is that she kind of goes back to being a regular PI, working at Alias Investigations, only now Patsy Walker has become full comic book Hellcat. She gets thrown in prison in the Raft, where Baron Zemo is in present day. She wound up reconnecting with Luke Cage finally, and they started to deal with her PTSD from the Purple Man, David Tennant's character, still one of the best villains that Marvel has ever done so far. When she comes back, she'll probably just be helping Matt with whatever villain he's dealing with in Season 2 or Season 3, also with Kingpin, because they teased that the Kingpin story in Season 1 is going to set up something much bigger long-term, and he'll start going mad with power. He'll become a much bigger villain in the scope of the MCU. My early guess right now is that just implies that they're going to turn Kingpin into a big Defenders character and they'll bring the Defenders back together to face him at some point. And it'll be like what they should have done for Defenders Season 1, but it'll effectively kind of be like Defenders Season 2. And they might just do that during a future season of Daredevil. One of the problems with Kingpin being the big Defenders villain, though, is that Daredevil kind of already took him down. And if he took him down on his own with his help in just his series, then why would the Defenders need to team up to face him? So I think their fix for that is that Kingpin has a much bigger plan. He's much more powerful in the present day of the MCU now. When it comes to bringing Iron Fist back, there's already actually been a pretty big Easter egg walking around in the Daredevil Born Again trailer footage. It's literally Bullseye. Way back during Daredevil Season 3, after Kingpin crushed his spine, they give him a version of Bullseye's comic book origin. So during the post-credit scene, Dr. Kenji Oyama, person in the comics who developed the method for bonding adamantium to people's skeletons, leading to Weapon X and Wolverine eventually, he's the doctor in this post-credit scene, giving Bullseye his new metal spine. Now in the comics, it's an adamantium spine, but way back when this originally aired, Marvel didn't have the rights to use adamantium because Fox still had the rights to all the X-Men stuff. So at the time in the MCU, they said that Bullseye's new spine was made from cogmium, which is from the comics, but it was made by Oracle, a company owned by Iron Fist through his Rand Corporation. So Iron Fist was responsible for Bullseye's new spine, which he's running around in, attacking Daredevil with. All that stuff is still canon right now in present day, and a lot of you have asked, though, if they have the adamantium teaser in the Captain America Brave New World trailer, does that mean that Bullseye can get his adamantium spine now? My assumption is they probably don't care about that, and they'll just let him still have his cogmium spine. It'll just stay the same. They're also supposed to be bringing back an ancient version of Iron Fist during the Black Panther series later this year, Eyes of Wakanda. Not the Danny Rand version, but an ancient version. They didn't say which one from the comics, just one from ancient history. They also just introduced the Iron Fist from the 1800s during What If Season 3. I literally did episode videos for that back in December when they aired. This kid during the Shang-Chi Western episode is meant to be Li Jun-fan from the comics, who was Iron Fist during that era. Also, big Easter egg for Bruce Lee in real life. His name in real life was Li Jun-fan. He just changed it to Bruce Lee when he came to America. So it's kind of them winking at the camera saying Bruce Lee became Iron Fist. Like this little kid is meant to be a version of young Bruce Lee. Finn Jones has talked about coming back in the MCU and how he wants to do a more legit version of Heroes for Hire with Luke Cage, like a totally different TV show. But even if Marvel doesn't want to give them their own show, they can still bring them back and just say that they've been doing Heroes for Hire stuff. They've been that team for the last couple years in the MCU, and people are just finding out about it now. But everyone let me know in the comments if they're going to wait till Daredevil Born Again Season 2 or Season 3 to bring a lot of these Defenders characters back in cameos outside of Punisher. He's coming back in Season 1, but not everybody. What do you actually want their storyline to be? And do you think that they're building Kingpin up to be more of a Defenders level villain where they'll have to team up in order to take him down? One of the other options, too, is that they turn him into a bigger Spider-Man level villain, which I think that they want to do because Sony actually technically does have the rights to use Kingpin in the movies. Vincent D'Onofrio said it's kind of a weird, tricky rights situation when it comes to using Kingpin in the movies versus the TV shows. Marvel has the TV rights. They can use him on the TV shows just fine, but when it comes to the movies, they have to get Sony involved for that. I'm not expecting a Spider-Man cameo during Daredevil Born Again, but I do think we'll see Daredevil and Spider-Man team up at some point in the movies. Maybe Spider-Man 4, maybe not till Spider-Man 5, we'll see. There's a bunch of big stuff coming up this week. The Fantastic Four trailer is supposed to be coming Tuesday morning. Of course, I will do all the videos for that. Invincible Season 3 episodes also coming this week. Super Bowl trailers. Make sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of that stuff because it's going to be crazy. We will see if I get any sleep this week. Probably not. That's usually the way these things go. Everybody click here for my full Daredevil Born Again trailer video and Easter eggs, and click here for my brand new Fantastic Four video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.